Hey guys, so let's talk about what is the number one essential thing in starting up your bookkeeping business. So, this is the one thing that if I could not have anything else and I was restarting my accounting and bookkeeping firm, like this is the number one thing I would have. So, I get asked this question a pretty good amount of time, especially from like newer students where they're like asking, they just joined the mentorship program. They're like, hey, like what's the number one thing? Like, what's the thing that separates us and me and your from your other students, right? Because most people when they're trying, they have a lot of little things they're trying to learn, but they don't really exactly know what's holding them back. So the one thing that we started including was success paths. So I've been taking my better students and really just kind of re-engineering like this is what they did first, this is what they did second, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, this is sixth, and seventh, right? So all the students when they first enter, you can actually see that it's a training module inside of the program, and it just lets you know exactly like what those things are. Now, just to kind of break that down for those of you who are not yet inside of the program, like the number one thing that you need to have is focus. So focus is a very interesting thing, right? Because a lot of people, it's probably a very simple answer, right? But they don't really think about it. They're looking for like marketing, they're looking for like sales, they're looking for some sort of technique. When in actuality, your goal needs to be a focus. Okay. Now the reason why is because most people they can't string together a good 1 month of actually going and prospecting, building a business, talking to people, getting people to move forward, and then working. Where if they could just put together maybe 60 days, 90 days, that's all you really need in order to go and reach your goal. It's not very, very challenging. You just got to be able to do it. Now, I want you to almost kind of imagine your business and you're like almost like you're in the Odyssey. So the Odyssey is kind of like the hero's journey where you're starting. Maybe you were in paradise and you had like a fall from paradise. Maybe like before you had the great job, you're making it really well inside of corporate America. But then something kind of happened. Maybe you noticed that you weren't spending enough time with your children. Maybe you just wanted a better way. Maybe you weren't quite getting the raises that you thought that you wanted, at work, and they just overlooking you. So now it's like, okay, so now you're in this fall position. Now you're trying to go and reach your goal, right? So maybe your goal is to be able to not only make good money, but be able to have the free time to spend with your children, be able to, be with your children, to be able to really just have the life you deserve. Maybe you move to a new place and like you have to go and rebuild your income really quickly, but it's been really hard to kind of get a job. Or maybe like you're working a great job right now and you just want to get some freedom. Like you really have to just understand like along your journey, there's going to be things called distractions. So it's almost like inside of the movie The Odyssey, or even the book The Odyssey, if you haven't watched the movie, there's these things called sirens. And there are these like just really cool people that are like, hey, come try this instead. Hey, come do this. Hey, come hang out with us. Hey, come. Hey, we got to do this, right? And their only job is to distract you from your goal. And if you get too close to them, they will pull you off of your course and you won't be able to reach it. It's almost like if you're in the movie, they were like driving boats and then like there's be just ruins and just wrecks underneath the water of all the people that the distractions slash the sirens actually cause. Now we got to make sure for you, like you're avoiding those distractions, okay? Because you have to be really, really focused. Now, in the short term, you might be giving up a little bit of like, your free time. So you might have to do some of the client work on the weekend. You might have to spend about probably between 30 minutes to an hour every single day learning how to go and reach out to prospects and booking calls with prospects. You might do a 45-minute consultation calls with prospects between 1 to 3 times per week. Okay, so that means that your time is going to get a little, taken away when you're first starting, right? And if your goal is just to, just have free time, you don't want to put any work in, I got to be honest, you're not going to get the business going and you're not going to get the free time. So you have to be willing to just kind of put like 90 days into like trying this thing out, going down the right path, really staying focused. I know when I first got started, like with my accounting firm, like I would I would do it for like 2 weeks and I would get really discouraged because I either didn't see the results I was looking for or I just didn't really make the progress that I wanted. And it always be like I would go and do a consultation with the business owner. They'd be like, oh, I don't really want your service. And then I'd be like, man, nobody wants this service. Like I don't know why I can't seem to get people to pay me any money. Like everybody needs this. It's just like they just weren't really paying me money because I just didn't really know the stuff that I know nowadays. But I would always kind of like just take a couple weeks off and then I would try again and I would like do some stuff and I like post some blogs. I would go on Upwork. And then I would just like get shut down again. Then I would like take a week off, and then sometimes I'd try and like make it work. But then, there would be like summertime and I'd want to go, to the pool, or I'd want to go and just play like basketball. I'd want to go to like a salsa dance social, right? And there was all these like little distractions that were kind of slowing me down from reaching my goal. Where looking back, I still do that stuff. Like I do salsa dancing when it's not right now. It's like 20 degrees outside, so I can't go swimming or anything. But when it's warm out, there's a lot of cool distractions. They're kind of there, and there is a time and a place for it. Like right now I can afford to do that. Like I went to a salsa lesson last night, and I went out to eat on Friday evening, right? And it was okay because I have the money now. I put in that time, I put in that work, I put in that effort, I put in that energy, put in that focus, and then now everything is very, very smooth, right? It gives me time to be able to do the stuff that I really want to do, because I did the stuff I didn't want to do in the beginning. Versus most people, they do the stuff they want to do, but then they end up having a lot of stuff they can't do, right? Versus successful people, they do the stuff they hate, the stuff they don't want to do, the stuff they're not passionate about. Then all of a sudden they have all this entire life that they can do, like stuff they're passionate about. Like for example, like when JT was getting started, like he probably didn't like waking up an extra hour earlier before work so we can do some of his client work. He probably didn't like having to do consultation calls where people were saying no. He probably didn't like you know not being able, because he loves playing sports and stuff. So he probably didn't like, that he couldn't go and play some golf that day. It's just one of those things. But now he has all the time to play golf. Now he has all the time to go travel, because he put in that work. You put in all that work in the beginning, and then now it's just pretty coasting and like smooth sailing. Because right now, what he basically has is like when you get to a certain point, where you've not only done the prospecting, but then you start really learning what post styles work for you. Like you can literally just make like it's ridiculous. Like we have him where he does like about 3 posts a month. They get the business owners on his list to start raising their hands and saying that they're looking for some help. And it's just ridiculous. So he put in all this groundwork. He made all these relationships. He got, I think it was probably about 600 different people inside of his target markets that were doing really good in business, to kind of be on his friends list on Facebook, right? Then he was going and he does like a presentation to them like once a quarter to like one of his referral partners. And that after he does that presentation, that just short like video overview, then people start coming into his calendars, right? Then they start sending him a friend request on Facebook. And then what he does is about 3 times a month, he'll just make a post saying like, who's looking for help, who has this issue, who wants this, who needs this, who's been thinking about this, who's been on the fence, XYZ, just a bunch of different things like that. And then they raise their hand, right? And a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they see that progression. They see that people are getting their hands raised on posts, and then they try and emulate the same thing without going and putting in that groundwork that JT did in the beginning. And they're very confused, upset, and feel really betrayed when they make those same posts and they get no results, right? But it's because they didn't really know what is the groundwork, what are the things that you have to do before you can get people to start doing that. And the longer that you can kind of like look at that, put your blinders on, and keep focused on the exact same thing, the faster you'll be able to go and get results like that. The faster you'll be able to go and just make a post and you have 5-10 people saying that they want your help, saying they've been watching you for X amount of time, saying they've been hearing your results, they really want to get started with you. Okay, so that's the number one thing. The number one most essential thing that you need when starting your bookkeeping business is you need focus. That's it. Everything else will take care of itself. Now, if you want to condense the amount of time it takes for you to go and reach your goal, in addition to having focus, it generally makes sense for you to go and walk along at the side of someone who's been there before. So I created a private mentorship program for those of you who don't want to go through all the trial and error that most people go through. It's almost like you got to imagine like your business kind of like in the Bible, there was the Israelites and they were trying to go to the promised land. So in our case, you're the Israelites, your goal is the promised land. There's a lot of people that died along the way because they're trying to figure it out themselves. Instead, nowadays we have technology. I can take you up in this helicopter and carry you over really quickly and then drop you down to the promised land. So you don't have to go through all the struggle everyone else did. You can learn vicariously through my mistakes and through my other students' mistakes so that you can avoid those mistakes, hit your goal, and make sure you win. If you want some help, go ahead and click on the link down in the description below to book a call with me. On that call, we're just going to cover 3 things: Where are you now? What do you want in your life and your business? Third, if I think it can help, what does this look like? Like, what do you have to do? Are you willing to do this plan? If you're willing to do this plan, if you're willing to go and put in the work, this is the result that we're looking for you to get. And if it makes sense, you say, hey, I want to do this. We can onboard you right then and there, get you plugged in, get you all the stuff you need, and then get going. Okay, if that's you, I will see you on the call. If it's not you, you're not quite ready right now, that's okay too. We have a lot of great resources on this channel and this training to make sure you can progress in your career until the point where you're ready. Then we can just, again, helicopter, boom, go to your goals. I'll talk to you soon. I will see you inside of the next video. Have a great rest of your day.